Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and as you can see, I've been crafting already because I was working on our video for today and realized that I was out of time and I hadn't completed the first item yet. So we're back and I'm going to bring you up to speed. First off, I went through my digitals and I found this one that I liked for one of my pages. To do belly bands, whether you're going to do vertical or horizontal, you need to know the size of your page. So that was where I started. And the first belly band I'm going to show you today is one that I learned from Miss Edith over at Scrapbooking with Me. And that's working with a plain junk journal envelope. You want one that doesn't have windows. Cut it in half and that will give you 2 of these. Okay? And then you're going to take one of these, cut it down to size to fit your page, and in this case I'm doing a vertical, or a horizontal, and then you're going to glue shut the open edge where you had cut the envelope apart. Okay, are you with me so far? Open edge, glue it shut. And that brings us to this. Now, before I went to decorating the outside, I decided to work on the inside. And I have a piece of green paper from my stash, and I took a piece of paper from one of the digitals and cut it to fit inside the pocket. So I now have a tag in my pocket. It's a little smaller, but I wanted to make sure that I had that room, okay? I wanted to make sure I had that room in there so that it wasn't hard to get in and out. Okay, so I have that. Then I need something to go on the top of that to pull it in and out. So let's use this right here, sitting here looking at me, where I was testing a stamp yesterday. It is so nice to have my filming table back. Now, I want to take this, and I have a decorative edge punch, and I'm just going to slide it in here all the way up. I should have did this before I cut it apart, I think. Maybe that's not going to work. Let's go a different route. Should have done that for something longer. Let's go a different route. Easy enough. I have ziggy-zag scissors. Let's just use those. And I'm just going to snip, snip, and get down to that last one. They don't want to cut very well. Probably need to run these through some foil. Okay, and let's redo that one. And it is really starting to get hot in here. We went from our high of 42 yesterday to a high of 72 today. Talk about a change in weather. And we'll probably stay this warm for a couple of days because we have severe thunderstorm warnings, or watches and warnings for Thursday and Friday. So I'm hoping I get to upload this video tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, so you can see it on time. So then I'm going to take, and I could staple that, but I'm not a fan of the staple. I just really am not. Not unless I can put something on the back side to cover it up. So I'm going to put that in the center. And while that's gluing down, we're going to go ahead and work on our pocket. We need to cover our pocket with something. Oh, for the bottom of this, I used washi tape, and I glued the washi tape down because I am not a fan of can't always trust my washi tape. There I go. I knew I could spit it out. That's not quite going to be big enough. So let's go over here to our digitals and see what we've got to play with. I know that I have already cut a piece of trim out that I'm going to use. Let's grab Virgin. Let's use this darker green. Let's use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pocket down on the paper and get my glue to come out and cooperate with me. Okay. And I only have to decorate the one side because the other side is going to get glued to the book. So I'm okay with that. Okay. And then I can, not with those, not with those. Then I can come back and trim this off. Come back and trim this up. I'm trying to stay above my line. Okay, so we have that. It needs some decoration, and that's what I want to use this for. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut it a little longer than I need it, just to make sure. Come back over it with my sponge dauber and ink it up, just to blend out that white a little bit. I have spent the last few days relaunching my author tube. So I now have my author channel set up. And I've been talking about Camp Nano, which is okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to glue that all the way. I'm going to stop. And I want to cut this off so it's in the right spot. Talking about getting ready for Camp Nano. If you've heard of NaNoWriMo, where we pledged to do a brand new 50,000 word novel in 30 days. Well, in April and July, we can work on any project we want. It doesn't have to be a new novel, doesn't have to be a new project. Let's see, I should have let that dry before I tried trimming it off, but that's okay, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Nothing else, we can do that. It's a junk journal. Doesn't have to be perfect. And it's a good thing because that's not anywhere near level. But what I did was, see if I can find something here, I left this as a belly band too. So there's something here. And then we're going to have the pocket. This will go in, but I was wanting to put something else on there. So I trimmed this down. This is from one of my digital sheets. I think it's from, nope, can't tell you. Can't tell. Oh, Lisa's Altered Art is what I got this one from. And I'm going to go ahead and squiggle some glue on the back of her. I love these silicone mats for when I'm gluing. I got these from Stampin' Up. And if you're interested in getting one, I will link you to my demonstrator, which is also my sister-in-law. Okay, so now we have a pocket, we have a tag, and we officially have a belly band. Okay, so there's one. Now, another one that I want to show you, and I'm going to set this up here and see if I can lose it. Another one I want to show you is, how many of you have gone to hotels and gotten room keys? And these things. You see, I've got 3 different styles, 3 different hotels. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just cover these with part of my digitals. And I want to use something a little different than the wordings. Let's use this one. Let's use this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them with glue. At least that's my plan. If the glue comes out, that's my plan. In fact, let me trim this off a little bit so I know that what we're working with is actually the paper I want to use. Okay. And I'm going to trim this off at the top of that little boy's head. And I realize I'm over here out of frame, but you know how to cut paper. You don't need to watch, right? Just chopping it up so I have paper to work with, okay? Because I want to glue this to where this is on the front. So I'm going to run this over. Probably ought to trim that top off too, so I get it. Okay. And the thing about the green glue is you have time to play. Okay, and now I've got that one there. I'm going to run this one down here next to it. I think it'll fit. Nope, I'm going to have to go down here. Going to have to go down here, but that's okay. Let's scoot that down. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Now I want to come back and I want to do this 3rd one, and I know I need to be in this corner, so let's do that. Belly bands can provide a multiple amount of places to use that you can tuck things, not just behind them as the belly band itself. And I'm going to let that one dry while I cut these 2 apart. I'm going to start right there and scoot it up. And I'm sure I'll have to come back and trim this up with the scissors, but I want to get the main part done first and not cut the pocket. That's my other thing. I don't want to cut the pocket. I have a gazillion of these, and that's probably no exaggeration. There for a while, when Bob would come home off the boat, we would take a couple of days and go to Springfield. So every 3 weeks, we would go to Springfield for at least a 2 overnight stay at a hotel. Bob got to sit in the hot tub, and we got to relax, and we did some shopping. We finally realized that was getting really expensive, and we didn't want to do that anymore. So I don't get those as much as I used to. And they don't need the room pockets back. They do like to get the keys back, but they don't need the pockets themselves that the keys come in. Okay, there's that. Oh, we're only at 11 minutes. We are doing awesome. Okay. Now see, this one I didn't pay attention, and I've got that white here. So we will cover that up. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a circle punch. And I'm going to take a relatively good sized one, because that's a pretty good notch in there. And I'm going to use that be my guide for how far I go with my notch. Okay, that one. And this one we'll just do it the same way. And then where's our other one? This one here. So we have a pretty decent thumb hole there to get a hold of. And this one can be trimmed off a little better, so let's do that. Get the paper off my scissors. I really should be using my Westcott sticky scissors. Work better. Okay, so now we have those. We have 3 pockets, and we're going to put something on this one. So let's do that first, and let's come back and use our washi tape again. And that's not going to stick, so let's give it a little bit of glue and encourage it first. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to treat this one as, this will be on the right hand side. Okay, just like that. That will go over there. And let's put this one over here. So let's put tape on this side of this one. If you've had washi tape in your stash for a while, or it doesn't seem to want to stick to itself very well, I highly recommend using glue. Okay, so we've got this one and we've got this one. And we're going to do something a little different with this one. Now see this one? I trimmed it too close and it's popping open. So I'm going to move those out of the way, and I'm going to come back in here with a little bit of glue and glue that down. Give that a minute to stitch. And while it's doing that, I'm going to come back with these, and I don't have my tiny scissors. So I'm going to put on my cheaters here, and we're going to see what we can do about not butchering this cute little girl. Okay, because these are really bigger scissors than I prefer to use for fussy cutting. I am so excited to finally be doing an Irish journal. I did one for my sister, for Donna, a couple of years ago. and I've just never taken the time to do one for myself. So that's what this one is for, and it probably won't be done in the month of March. We'll see. I'd like to finish it next week. I still have the July one over there to stitch into place and to do an embellishment for the cover. It's pretty much ready to go. I know I want something different on the cover, and so I've not finished it till I can sit down and play with the cover. So, and of course I have 2 weeks before Bob gets home. I have a week and a half before Camp Nano starts, and I'm really going to be pushing hard to finish this book. And so, yeah. I can't not craft. So that's just not an option. But I also can't not tell stories either. So I just have to juggle the two the best I can. And I am so blessed that Bob supports me, both figuratively and emotionally, on my journey. But he's convinced that he is just temporarily supporting us until he retires, and my books will take care of supplementing his income. So we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and run a bead of glue across there, and I'm going to do that again with the tape. See, I can tell that's not going to stick very well unless I put glue down, so I'm okay with that. So I've got that, and I've got that. Now, normally I would take time and put her on a piece of chipboard and raise her up, but I don't have that kind of time today on this video. We've got about 6 minutes left, and we still need to actually finish this belly band. So I'm just going to dust her up really quick and hide those white edges a little bit, and then I'm going to bump her up with some foam tape. And I think once I get rid of the washi tape off my scissors, I think I can do it this way. I have her going lengthways, and I think that's going to be too wide, so I'm going to cut that off just a little bit, and I'm going to stick that crossways on her like that. And I'm going to trim this one down to where it sits behind her head better. Like that. Yeah, I definitely need to make sure I get my glue scissors over here, because they're sticking to everything. Yeah. I wanted to add a little bit of lace to this, but I don't think I have any handy quick enough. But I want white lace, I know that. I know I want white lace. Let's try a little piece of this crocheted stuff. Cutting it off this floral patch here from a tablecloth. Just want a little something underneath her, and normally I would use my craft glue, but I'm going to see if this will take. Set that right on there, and then I'll come back. Oh, I already took the papers off, and we're just going to plant her right there. Now, we know that that belly band has to be 5, was it 4? Oh, my paper, my glue stuck to my paper. Let's measure that again. My belly band can't be any more than 4 3/4. Okay, so I have some scrap strips of cardstock here, and I'm going to cut one to 4 3/4. And I'm not going to get this belly band completely finished, but you're going to know where you need to go from here, okay? So I've got that 4 3/4. I really need the cardstock. I thought I had some cardstock here. All else fails, go to the cardstock wall. All else fails, go to the cardstock wall. Okay, so 4 3/4. By. Let's make this one about 2 inches because we want it to support the weight of those pockets. Okay. I don't think we're going to use that one. I think we're just going to take this, because I did not measure that off. I just clipped it off. Okay, is that the right one? Yep, it's the right one. Okay, let's go with the green. It's good and heavy the way it is, but it needs something. So next week I'm going to work with fabric. When I have my fabric stuff out, I'm not going to work on that today, but let me flip this over. And get to a piece of paper here. And you know what? I have totally lost my mind. But that's okay. It happens. I'm going to move this aside. Use this piece of paper from K & Company. I didn't think about the fact that this page was only 4 3/4 wide. What in the world made me think that I was going to get 3 of these across there? Oh boy. Okay. And then we're going to try to match this up. Lay your paper like this so then you can see the width of your glue strip that needs to be. You could also use double stick tape for this. I like glue because glue seldom will release. And there we go. You have 2 pockets you can use elsewhere in your journal. We have this little girl with a pocket that would normally hold a key card. And I cannot get my fingers to work. Probably because it's getting so stinking hot in this office. I can't breathe in here. I didn't know I was going to have to open the window when, you know, yesterday I was freezing. Get that pocket poofed up. And that one's not going to fit. This one will fit for now. And then we have another belly band with a different style of pocket. So we have this one. And we have this one. Now, you could do this one on a vertical pocket as well. Let me whip this apart really fast. We are about done on time. Next week we will have one more pull. This one isn't going to be long enough, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to use it just to show, even though it's not going to be long enough for the page. Okay. You could do a belly band that goes the full length of your page and use her on here as well. Use one of these, decorate it with any other kind of trim, and have it going vertical. You could even do one of these as a vertical and have your tag pull out from the side. Just make sure if you do this as a vertical that your opening goes to the outside of your page. If it goes to the inside, you're going to have trouble pulling your tag out, okay? That's just to keep that in mind. Okay, 2 different types of things that you can use with junk you probably have or never thought to keep, but now will as you're on your summer vacations. And I will be back here tomorrow, as soon as I can find this desk, and film a haul video. I have a box from Spectrum Art Creations I have not opened yet that I need to open so I can put stuff away and see what I have to play with. So I will see you back here tomorrow. In the meantime, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Creative blessings.